Hello and welcome to the Freehold Regional High School District Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. We have a great group of campuses here to tell you all about their programs. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You may use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You don't have to wait until a certain campus is presenting if you've got questions for them. Go ahead and use any time today's presentation to get those questions in. Your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you, but you can use that Q&A function. This is one of many different sessions happening, so make sure that you sign up for more. This is our last session of the evening tonight, but we have a whole nother set of presenters available for you tomorrow. And then this presentation and all of the others are being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/FRHSD. I'll put that link in the chat for you all as well. Okay, now on to the main event. I am going to get us started here by asking Binghamton University to kick us off. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
All right. Just give me one. Perfect. I'm ready to share my screen now. There we go. Just give me 1 second. All right, I believe I should be shared now. Perfect. Okay. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. My name is David Babb, and I am one of the assistant directors of admission locally based here in the state of New Jersey. And I'm representing Binghamton University, State University of New York. As we go through the presentation, I have a few minutes, so I'll do my best to talk about Binghamton, but also to talk about the SUNY system and the public schools and colleges in New York State as well. So this is a pretty good shot on your screen of what Binghamton University looks like. Binghamton University is located upstate New York. We're roughly around 3 hours away from North Jersey, Central Jersey-ish. So that's a little bit about us, and I'll tell you a little bit more. So within our campus is roughly within a 5-hour drive of all the major cities in the Northeast. We're not far from, a lot of other things upstate New York, not far from Ithaca, New York, Cornell, all those other big schools upstate. Binghamton is the #1 public university in the SUNY system. In New York State, there are 64 colleges and universities in the SUNY system. If you combine that with CUNY, which is the City University of New York, there's roughly around 100 public colleges and universities in New York State. So New York is a fantastic place to consider going to a public institution. Now, Binghamton University is really well known for our top tier faculty members. Just last year, we had one of our faculty members walk away with the Nobel Prize in chemistry for his work with the invention of the lithium-ion battery that's charging all of our computers and our phones. And boy, what a big deal that was. So Binghamton University has roughly around 14,300 undergraduate students for a total of around 18,000. So we're a mid-sized institution. We have roughly around 130 majors and programs on campus, our most popular ones being business administration, nursing, computer science, biology, psych, engineering, and we are divided into 6 different schools and colleges. So when you apply to Binghamton, you'd be applying to one of our 6 different schools or colleges, and then you can major in whatever is within those schools or colleges. We have over 450 student-run clubs and activities on campus. We're also NCAA Division I, and we have every major sport except for American football. We have 2 application deadlines for you to consider if you're juniors and rising seniors and rising juniors. We have an early action deadline, which is November 1st. Early action is non-binding, non-committal. And then we have a regular consideration, which is January 15th. The mid 50% ranges are here on screen, and you'll also be able to ask me about this in the Q&A as well, so I'll shoot that out for you. And for right now, we are not 100% sure if we will be test optional. The likelihood is that we will be for next year, but we have to wait as a public school on the state of New York to give us that announcement. So we're waiting on that, but the likelihood is that we will be. So some of the things that students look at when they consider a place like Binghamton is they're thinking about our research opportunities and some of our stronger programs, and why you'd want to come to a place like Binghamton. So in the first year, we have two first-year research immersion-based programs. So one is FRI, which is for students in the sciences and STEM, and the other one is the SOURCE project, which is for students in the social sciences and the humanities. As a comprehensive liberal arts institution, we really do our best to tie in research into all of our academic areas. So these are programs for students to do research in either STEM or in any of the other academic disciplines. We also have the Undergraduate Research Center on campus. So if any of you do not get into one of these first-year research programs, you also have the option to do a ton of research through the Undergraduate Research Center. At Binghamton, we also have a significant number of accelerated and early assurance programs for any of you that are thinking about medical, pharmacy, dental, anything like that, or for any of you that are thinking about maybe you want to go on for a master's degree, an MBA, anything like that. We have these programs based right on our campus, and then we have partnerships with some other institutions across the Northeast. So if you're thinking about some strong programs like that, Binghamton should definitely be at the top of your list. In addition to that, if you're thinking about studying abroad, if you're thinking about really getting immersed and involved on campus, definitely know that Binghamton is going to be a top place for you. Now, with that said, I only had six. I don't have a ton of time, so I didn't want to keep you on here for too long. But I just want to make sure that you have my information. You can please take a shot of the screen, and we encourage you to start thinking about applying. Our applications for rising seniors don't actually open until August 1st. But I just want to thank you so much for joining tonight and for listening to me. And since you're all in the Freehold district, I'll be visiting each of your high schools this fall. So hopefully I will see all of you there when I visit your schools later this year. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Well, what a great way to get us started here. Thank you so much, Binghamton University. Okay, we're going to head now to Ithaca College whenever you are ready.
Thank you. Yeah, so we're just going to head about an hour north from where Binghamton is. So hi, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Jenny Henyon, and I'm here to share a little bit about what Ithaca College has to offer. So first of all, where is Ithaca? Well, we're located in the Finger Lakes region of central New York, like I said, about an hour north of Binghamton. So we're by car about 4.5 hours from where you are in New Jersey. Ithaca College is a medium-sized liberal arts college with about 6,000 undergraduate students, and our focus is really on our undergraduate student. We attract students from across the country and across the globe, and that's because we have the variety of offerings, academic offerings and experiences that you'd find at a bigger institution, but also the intimacy of a smaller institution. And so this means that you can study and experience almost anything you're interested in, and you get to do so in small class sizes with a low student to faculty ratio, without competition for access to your professors, materials, or hands-on learning opportunities. Ithaca College, we are comprised of 5 schools. So there's our School of Music, Business, Communications, Health Sciences and Human Performance, and finally, Humanities and Sciences. Among these 5 schools, we offer nearly 100 majors and over 70 minors. And because we know that our students come to us with a wide variety of interests, most academic programs allow enough flexibility for our students to combine their interests based on their passions and their career goals. So this could mean double majoring, taking on a minor, even a double minor, and all of these combinations can be done within one school or across different schools. We also definitely know that not all incoming students know what major is right for them right away, and that's totally okay. So if that sounds like you can check out what's called our exploratory program. And this allows students to take 2 full years to explore their interests before selecting a major. You'll have faculty and peer advisors to make sure that all the classes you take during that time will count toward your degree progression so that you can still graduate on time. And when you do decide on a major, it's an informed decision based on your experience. And about 25% of our incoming class enters as exploratory students, so you'll definitely be in good company if this sounds like a good fit for you. Regardless of the major you do choose, we know that our students learn best through hands-on real-world learning experiences. So from day one at IC, you'll have those experiences in every single academic program, whether that means working in our clinics and labs, our television and radio studios, performing on stage, doing analysis in our real-time trading room, or working on set design and production for theatrical performances. These are just a few examples, of course. You'll be able to use these experiences to customize and enhance your skills throughout your undergraduate education. We also encourage students to get real-world experience through study abroad and internships. In addition to supporting your interest in studying across the world, we also have satellite Ithaca College campuses in New York City, Los Angeles, and London. And our satellite campuses are really popular destinations for students to complete internships. And you can see a small list of examples on your screen, but internships can really take place right on campus or even across the world, depending on what you're interested in doing. We have offices on campus and a robust alumni network to help you plan for study abroad and internship opportunities, and not to mention to help you get a job or get into grad school after your time at IC. To share a little bit about your experience outside of the classroom, you should know that Ithaca College is a residential college, and that means that everything you might need is available to you right on campus. This means housing, dining, academic support, health and wellness services, safety, employment, and of course, entertainment. So there's always something to do on campus. We offer over 200 different student clubs and organizations, ranging from academic honor societies to performing arts ensembles like our Gamer Symphony Orchestra or our 5 a cappella groups, community service organizations as well, like Guiding Eyes for the Blind, where students are raising puppies to be Guiding Eyes dogs, and even clubs that are just for fun, like the Circus Club or the Car Club. We're also an NCAA Division III institution with 27 varsity sports, but you can definitely participate in club or intramural teams as well. And of course, we have to talk about food. We have great food on campus, most of which is locally sourced and influenced by downtown Ithaca eateries. Since downtown Ithaca really is known for its amazing quality and variety of food. In fact, the town of Ithaca actually has more restaurants per capita than New York City, believe it or not. So speaking of downtown Ithaca, the town slogan is Ithaca is Gorges, because we have over 150 different waterfalls and gorges within a 10-mile radius, in addition to being nestled at the south end of Cayuga Lake. One of the best features of downtown is the Commons, which is a pedestrian walking mall you can see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. It's home to many local boutiques and restaurants, art galleries, performing arts spaces, and an independent cinema too. What's really cool about Ithaca is that we share the town with Cornell University, so college students make up more than half the population of the town, making us frequently ranked the #1 college town in the US for a town of our size. So if IC sounds like it might be a good fit for you, you can apply via the Common App, and you can see the application deadlines here. There is information on our website to help you go through the process, so please check it out by going to ithaca.edu/apply. I know a lot of people are probably wondering about test optional for all of the colleges tonight. We have been test optional since 2012. We continue to be test optional, so that's no problem there. If you happen to be interested in applying for fall 2021, we actually are still accepting applications through May 1st, and we would be happy to consider you. So please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or any of my colleagues directly, and we are more than happy to help. We also would welcome you to get to know us through our virtual visit opportunities using the yellow link on your screen. And if you have any questions now, feel free to drop them into the chat and I'll do my best to answer them. But thank you so much for being here and have a great evening, everybody.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ithaca College. We are going to hear now from Iona College whenever you are ready.
All right, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Julia Frampton. I'm going to share my screen right now. Thank you guys so much for joining us too. So as I said, my name is Julia Frampton. I'm the undergraduate admissions counselor for New Jersey here at Iona. So all of you guys who would be applying next year, I would be your admissions counselor here, the one who reads your application, your contact point through the whole process. So I'm really excited to get a chance to chat with you all tonight. I always like to start my presentation by talking about why students have decided on Iona. This is my 4th year with Iona, and these are some constant things I've heard over the past 4 years. So 94% of our students are employed or enrolled in graduate school just 6 months after graduation. This includes numbers even from the class who graduated in 2020, who are definitely entering a little bit scarier of a post-graduation world, and we're able to still get into jobs and to graduate programs fairly easily. We have a 14-to-1 student-faculty ratio. Our average class size is from 20 to 25 students. We don't have any lecture halls or anything like that on campus, so we really are able to keep those classes pretty small. 100% of our students here actually receive scholarship and financial aid. I'll go into that a little bit later. In terms of our location, we're located in the county right above New York City. So we're a 30-minute train ride into Midtown Manhattan and 30 minutes to Stamford, Connecticut. We were ranked 13th in the nation in Money Magazine's list of most transformative colleges, which is what I'm going to briefly touch on tonight in this short, quick 6 minutes, just to tell you how I've heard from students how they've been able to have their lives transformed, not only their 4 years here at Iona, but when they graduate as well. So this is a picture of our campus just to give you a little idea of the size. You can walk from one end to campus from the other in about 10 minutes. And our undergraduate size is 3,000 students. So we are on the smaller end for institutions. Like I mentioned, we are just 30 minutes into New York City, and we're only 1 mile away from the train station with a shuttle that buses students back and forth for really easy access. Though we're a smaller school, we're one that's constantly growing and expanding. That's why I included pictures on here. So in the bottom right-hand corner is our newest residence hall, only built in 2016. And in the middle left right-hand picture is a picture of our new entrepreneurship center, which was completed last year. So even in the past year and a half, we've had 3 new buildings on campus, which is really exciting for us right now. This is a list of all of our academic programs. We have over 60 majors and 40 minors. When students apply to Iona, you're applying to Iona College overall. You're not applying to a specific program. Students do actually have, starting from their second semester freshman year, all the way till the end of their sophomore year to decide on a major. You have that very first semester to take a few different classes, figure out exactly what you want to study so that you don't get thrown into a major that you might change your mind about a little bit later on. We also have the opportunity for some dual degree and joint degree programs if you're looking to go into master's or even PhD level programs afterwards. A new program for us that we're really excited about is a Bachelor's of Science degree in nursing. We'll be welcoming our first undergraduate class this fall, so we're so excited about that. In addition to the nursing program, we've also just completed a new state-of-the-art medical lab on campus, as well as having many established connections to hospitals and medical centers in the area for our students to do their clinicals. I'll go into this a little later. We are test optional as an institution, and our nursing program is included within that. A big part of why our students, 94% of them, are enrolled in graduate school or have a job in their field 6 months after graduation is due to internships and job experience. So again, with that really close proximity to Midtown Manhattan, our students are able to do internships while they're taking classes during the semester. They're very easily able to commute. The city we're in, New Rochelle, is one many people live in to commute to New York City every single day. Our students are no different, which is awesome because you get to do them during the semester. You don't have to wait for winter or summer break. We also have a career development center on campus. They're here to help you land those jobs and internships. They do internship expos throughout the year where they invite companies to actually come on campus, allow you to network with them. And honestly, even just having the smaller class sizes and the connections with the professors a lot of times even recommend internships or job opportunities to students. The small classes sizes definitely helps with that, but also the reputation that we've established in the Metro New York area as well. We are a Division I school, so any students that are interested in playing at a Division I level, we have recruiting forms right on our website. I definitely recommend filling those out sooner rather than later, just to start the connection with coaches. I always say from my own experience, I don't play a sport, I don't usually watch sports, but it's a really fun part of campus to have these larger athletic programs at a pretty small school. It's kind of like a best of both worlds situation. So a little bit about the application process. Like I know some schools mentioned, we do start out accepting applications for seniors next year, August 1st, and we are available just through the Common App. We're looking at transcripts, letters of recommendation, your essay, and we are test optional. We were test optional prior to this year, and will continue to be so. We don't consider test scores even for scholarship consideration. We really base that off of your grades and some of the extracurriculars that you're involved in outside of school. These are our deadlines below. When I really always try to, push students towards or encourage them towards is early action, which is December 15th. It's a non-binding deadline, so you're able to find out your decision pretty early. Students usually hear back mid-January for early action without the binding commitment. And I mentioned before, 100% of our students do receive merit scholarship. So when we accept a student based on their GPA, are able to award a scholarship. So obviously the higher that GPA, usually the higher the scholarship, as well as our tuition and room and boards here. And this is my contact information. So thank you so much for coming tonight. I want you to know that we are hosting tours on campus 7 days a week. We've been fortunate to be open this whole year. So we are having tours on campus. And if you'd like to come see Iona, I would definitely encourage you to do so. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Iona College. We are going to hear now from Paul Smith College. I want to remind everyone that the Q&A function is open, so make sure that you get those questions in. All right, Paul Smith College, take it away.
All right, hello everyone. Just share my screen real quick. All right, good evening everyone. My name is Corey. I'm one of the assistant directors of admissions at Paul Smith College. For those of you who are unaware of where Paul Smith is or who we are a small natural science, environmental science, culinary arts, baking arts, so very, very specific with our niche of academic programs. And we are located in upstate New York. So about 5.5 hours from you all. And this is actually our campus right here. So it's a very remote location right on Lower St. Regis Lake. I like to say, we're secluded in our area, but there still is plenty of civilization around us. And we'll get into that in a little bit. All right, again, so with our location, you can see we are only about half hour away from Lake Placid. If you're familiar with Lake Placid, it is the home of the 1932 and 1980 Winter Olympics, still used as a very popular, prominent Olympic site. We always have different countries pre-COVID in Lake Placid and in our local towns training, competing, and just enjoying the area as well. And also we're only about 15 minutes away from Saranac Lake too. So a couple popular spots in the Adirondacks. And you can see the blue outline is actually the whole Adirondack State Park. We are the largest state park in the US, and we are the only four-year college in the park as well. Okay, so like I said before, we have a specific niche of programs. So these are our 5 different departments, and then within the departments, we have our 2-year and 4-year programs. We actually just recently added last year our first master's degree program in natural resource conservation, and we are really looking to expand our master's degree programs as well, which is really exciting. So you might not be thinking about that right now, but in the future, we also have programs for master's students as well. Like I said, though, very, very specific niche, as you can see. And the one thing, too, that we really, really pride ourselves on is our hands-on education, the experiential education. Obviously, you see the state park is your classroom. So no matter if you're baking arts or if you're fisheries and wildlife, you're constantly going to be out in the field, whether it's taking a canoe to collect water samples to bring back to the lab or working with local 5-star restaurants and resorts. You're constantly in the field of work. And that's why we always, too, we pride ourselves on our job placement rate. A SMITty, that's what we call our Paul Smith students. They tend to land a job right after graduation. And actually our statistic is 9 out of 10 of our students receive a job in their field within 6 months of graduation. So again, that hands-on learning, experiential learning, and a lot of one-on-one time too with the class and your professors. All right, of course, there has to be clubs and activities. Definitely want to get involved on campus. So this is a list of some of our clubs and activities we offer. So you might see some traditional ones that you might typically see maybe at your high school or other colleges, but then we have some pretty unique ones too. Like we have a beekeeping club, we have a venture crew, which they go out whitewater rafting, they go out kayaking, they go rock climbing. So a lot of different really unique and true to our area clubs and activities to get involved in. Some partnerships as well with our local community, especially in the Adirondack State Park. Again, we have a lot of really great partnerships and community with the local area. We have a student-run bakery right on campus, and they actually collaborate with a lot of the local bakeries. And we have a cupcake food truck they collaborate with, and a bunch of different local restaurants and organizations in the area. All student-run again. We also have a student-run restaurant called the Gonzi. This is actually a replica of a restaurant in New York City owned by a Paul Smith College alum. So again, those collaborative efforts all the way down in New York City from upstate New York, which is pretty cool. The Vic has over 15 kilometers of trails for cross-country skiing, hiking, lots of fishing in that area too, open to the public, student run. So they not only run the museum, the Welcome Center, but they also maintain the trails as well too. All right, and continuing with that involvement, on campus, aside from the academics, athletics too is a big part for a lot of our students on campus. We are in the Yankee Small College division because of our size, so it's still very competitive. They compete with plenty of usually smaller colleges in the area. I know our soccer team, which is really exciting, is finally going to be able to play a couple games. They're going to SUNY Canton, I believe, this weekend. So we're starting to get in the normalcy back again. But you'll see, again, some non-traditional sports that you might not see everywhere. We are ranked number 2 in bass fishing right now for the Northeast, and also woodsman's. That's not something you see everywhere either. We've actually been on ESPN for timber sports too because of woodsman's as well. Right, and then a little bit about the application, kind of similar to what our other schools said. Our application is, open right now. It opens August 1st too for your incoming seniors. So if you're a junior right now looking to apply for the summer, August 1st. We are rolling admissions though. So if you are a senior this year and you still want to apply, you absolutely can. We use May 1st as our soft deadline, but certainly you still have time to apply. And we are test optional. We've been test optional for a long time now. So what we really require is transcript, essay, and the application itself, which can be found right on our website or also on the Common App. And a large question that a lot of students and family ask, how much does it cost? Paul Smith College is a private institution. However, no one pays the sticker price that you see above. We have merit-based scholarships that go from $10,000 to $19,000 annually, as well as a lot of internal scholarships. And of course, the FAFSA is there for additional financial aid. And we will help you through that whole process if you choose to apply to Paul Smith's. Little bit of the location. And finally, if you're interested in following us on any of our social media platforms, and our contact information is below. I will also mention real quick, we are doing tours Monday through Friday, so feel free to sign up for a tour to visit us in the future. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much to Paul Smith College, and thank you to all of our panelists here for helping us learn more about their fantastic programs and campuses. We are going to take advantage of having all these experts on the panel today, and we're going to go to a brief Q&A. And the first question I have is, what is some advice that you would give someone going through the college search process? So I will ask all of my attendees to have their cameras on, which they already do. Perfect. And we're going to go in the same order, kicking it off with Binghamton University.
Okay, so I would say start the process as early as possible. That's something that you're already all doing, so that's great. I usually give a different answer, but for today, I think this is a good place to stay, because we're wrapping up another cycle and starting with you guys. So starting early is always important. You get to see a lot more, you get to learn a lot more. And as you start to go to more of these sessions, you'll learn the lingo, you'll learn how to talk to admission officers and the types of things that you want to ask about. And that's the most important part, I would say, for starting early. I know there's some sophomores here too, so I'm happy that you're all here early, and yeah, you're doing great. Keep going.
Great advice. Thank you. Ithaca College, what's your tip?
I would say ask all the questions. I always say there is no question that is too complicated or too silly or too small or too big. Just ask all the questions. And here's another tip. A great question to ask is ask your admission counselor, what questions should I be asking if you're not sure, because they hear lots of different questions. And so we are all in this together to help you make an informed decision about college. So that means our job is to help you understand, what we offer, so that you can make that informed decision. So just ask away.
Fantastic. Great advice. Iona College, what is your tip?
Sure. So a lot of things that I hear from juniors are they're not sure what kind of school they even want to start looking into. And I think you guys in New Jersey are so lucky that around you have so many schools different size, private, public. So I always recommend starting locally just to figure out what kind of school you're looking into. If you want a larger school, smaller school, private, public. And then from there, once you've kind of narrowed it down a bit, going further to look at other schools that are similar and fit that bill. I've always found that to be helpful for students who aren't even sure where to start looking.
Great advice. Okay, Paul Smith College, we'll have you close this question out for us.
All right. Yeah, I agree with what everyone said. I would just add to that too is visit as many schools as you can. And the beauty about, technology these days is even if you can't get there in person, you can visit virtually a lot of times. And a lot of schools are doing different virtual events too. So just kind of being immersed into the different campus life, because you'll never truly know if it's a right fit for you until you step on that campus and can really see yourself at that specific campus.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thank you, everyone. Our next question is going to give us another opportunity to learn a little bit more about each of your universities and colleges. So in the same order, starting with Binghamton University, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
Okay, so my favorite event on campus is something called Woods Fest. We are on our campus, our residential communities are pretty much like Harry Potter world. So you get to select which community you want to live in. And one of the communities is called College in the Woods. And it's literally the buildings are in the woods. It's kind of cool. So they do this huge like Woodstock hippie type festival every year, which is wonderful. The food is great. The music is great. It's just a big party. So I would say that's my favorite event at Binghamton.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Ithaca College?
Mine has got to be Cortica Jug, which is a rivalry Division III football game between the Ithaca College Bombers and the SUNY Cortland Red Dragons. They're a state school north of us. And it is known as the biggest little game in the nation. It is the only Division III sport that you can bet on in Las Vegas when you are old enough. It's been shown on ESPN. I'm not even much of a sports person, but everyone in town comes out for Cortica Jug. Usually it goes back and forth between the different campuses. In 2019, which was the last time we had the Cortica Jug, it was played at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We broke the attendance record for a Division III sport, or for Division III game. So it's a big deal. Regardless whether you're into football, you got to come out for the Cortica Jug if you go to Ithaca.
I love it. I didn't know any of that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Okay, Iona College, what is your favorite?
Yeah, absolutely. So probably one of my favorite traditions and something we've been doing at Iona for a while is giving our students something called an activity hour during the school week. And what that means is that from 12 to 1 o'clock every single day, we have absolutely no classes scheduled on campus, nothing going on, but to give the students an opportunity to get involved with their clubs, activities, or just to honestly get to see their friends and all have that same time, which I think just kind of is a big part of our, culture here, that we want students to get involved as possible and to make it as easy as possible to do that too.
I love it. Thank you. Okay, Paul Smith College, what is your favorite event or tradition?
Yeah, well, I'll just say real quick too, I can attest with Cortica Jug, what Ithaca College mentioned. My brother goes to SUNY Cortland and my cousin goes to Ithaca. So it is a popular event with them. But for Paul Smith's, I would say I love the fall in the Adirondacks. So I would say our homesteading festival. It's essentially one big fall fest. We have a sugar bush right on our campus. We make our own maple syrups. We do a huge sugar bush breakfast. They do fresh hot pressed apple cider. They have the ski lifts going not too far down the road. So it's just one cool fall foliage festival.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much to all of you for sharing these. Hopefully in the coming months and years, we'll be able to get back into all of these wonderful events again. Okay, I have one final question for everyone, and this is actually my favorite question, and that is give an interesting or fun fact about your campus. So at the top of the order again, Binghamton College, go ahead and kick us off.
All right, interesting fun fact. Binghamton has had 9 different mascots over our 60, 70-year history. We've had a lot of them. I don't really know why we keep changing them, but I think we're good. We're going to stay with this one for a while.
And what is it?
We are currently the Bearcats. It's a bear and a cat. I don't really know what animal that is, but we are a Bearcat.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I definitely have never heard any other institution that has had so many, so that's fantastic. Definitely interesting. Ithaca College, what is an interesting or fun fact about your campus?
I'm sorry, I just have to say that is my favorite sentence of the week. We're the Bearcats. It's a bear and a cat. I love it. Also, David, it's like this was planned because my fun fact is that Ithaca College does not have any mascot, so we should take a couple of yours. So we are the Ithaca College Bombers, but don't ask me what that is or where that comes from. We actually launched a campaign several years ago, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago with our previous president to come up with a mascot, and it caused a lot of turmoil among the alumni. Some of the contenders were the lake beast or the flying squirrel. So you might imagine why none of those sort of went through. And then we just sort of washed the whole thing away and said, nope, we'll just continue not having a mascot. So we are the Ithaca College Bombers, but don't know what that is.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Iona College, is yours mascot related or are you going in a different direction?
It does have a little bit to do with the mascot. Yeah. I was going to say, so we are an Irish Catholic school. And so we have a lot of interesting Irish traditions. For example, we always get St. Patrick's Day off as staff and students. We have a bagpipe band. They play at all our major events and in all the major St. Patrick's Day parades in March. And our mascot, his name is Killian Gale, Gale being someone who's Gaelic. And he's just this big burly Irishman, which I think is very interesting. So a little bit mascot related, like Jenny and David.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, no pressure, Paul Smith College, but what do you have for us?
I wasn't going to say a mascot. We're the Bobcats, though, so kind of similar to the Bearcats. But no, mine was going to be, so before Paul Smith's College was a college, it was actually the first resort in the Adirondacks. So we had like big wigs like the Rockefellers, the Roosevelts come to campus to stay, and the carriage. So we have draft horses on campus, and the carriage that would take them from building to building is preserved on our campus, which is pretty cool. Historic, fun fact.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why this question is always my favorite. I always learn something new about all of these wonderful programs. So thanks for taking the time to share those fun facts with all of us. And thank you for being here and sharing all of the information about your campuses. I know that our attendees have gotten a lot of value out of this session today. Hopefully they've had some interest and are going to look more into each of your campuses. I also want to thank all of you for being here as attendees. So whether you're here live or you are catching the recording, we're so glad that you joined us. And I wanted to let you know that this session and all of the other sessions for the event are being recorded, and you can catch those recordings in about a week at strivescan.com/FRHSD. Once again, I put that in the chat for everyone. This is night 1 of 2 of this event. So tomorrow night, we have a whole nother schedule full of opportunities to learn about more campuses. Finally, last but not least, when you close this out today, you're going to get a very quick 4-question survey. So any information that you can provide about this event would be most appreciated. All right, to all of our campuses one more time, thank you so much. And to everyone, have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.